Let's stand together. Next time.
Haka tonu tātou.
Ake ake ake.
Haka tonu tātou.
Ake ake ake.
Whakapiripiri mai tāna, whakapiripiri mai. Te moai te maha. We think back to the beginning of the hikoi. This hikoi that was built on the foundation that our tupuna laid down. We started up in Te Kaha. And at that hui, this fella here turned up. And at different points along the hikoi, these fellas here, they turned up. They walked alongside us. They walked beside us. And they carried the kaupapa out there, but they also carried the kaupapa in here. Orera tēnei te tū, te mihi kia koutou. E kara mai, e whaia mā, e hana, e te tuahine, tēnei te mihi kia koutou. Koutou e kawe nei te kaupapa, I roto I tēnei hore, kia nei te pakokōhua. I want to grab one example, and it's our tuahine hana. When we think back to Wāhi Pā, ka ara te kaupapa, ka whakarite te tira karere. Hana was one of the runners that carried the Māori as we moved through the country, and she ran from Wāhi Pā all the way into Kirikiriroa. When she arrived, we had our tens of thousands of people gathered, ka tū, te tuahine nei ki te kōrero. Mihi ana ki tō kōrero e hana. We're tired of the fight. All of us could be doing something better with our time than fighting these fellas. Engari ko tāna I whāriki mui a tātou, kia ora tonu tātou.
Ake ake ake.
Kia ora tonu tātou.
Ake ake ake.
And do you know what happened straight after that? She got on an aeroplane, flew down here, and that day, kawana, that was that day. She didn't just wake up chilling out for the morning, go and have a nice breakfast and then turn up and dust it up in Parliament. She was walking the talk alongside us. She was walking the talk with all of us. Reira tēnei te mihi kia koutou. Koutou katoa. E whawhai ana I te whawhai I roto I te whare. Ana ko tātou kei tō tuara. Koutou rātou. Koutou katoa e tuana I roto I tēnei whare ko tātou kei tō tuara. Reira tēnei te mihi. E rere nei ki tēnā o koutou. Anei o iwi. Anei te iti o te rahi o iwi. Ironic that we're back here again, eh? It's ironic. Well, no, this is just another whawhai. This is not the end. But one whakaaro I want to lay down in front of all of us is that this hikoi was this generation's training ground. The generations before us had their training grounds. And now we as a hikoi, we as a people, we know how to organise. We know how to mobilise. We know how to manaki people wherever they are. We know how to write submissions. Hands up who knew how to write a submission before?
Nah.
Not me. But 270,000 of us flexed that muscle and now we know. One thing I want to say about this whakakohua sentence that they've dished out to our mates is they're trying to instill fear. They're trying to instill fear in us. They're trying to say, sit down, Marys, be quiet. You can't have your voice in here. Will we be quiet? No! When we lose our fear, they lose their power. When we lose our fear,
They lose their power.
when we lose our fear,
They lose their power.
Wahi kore nei, mana kore nā. Reira tēnei te mihi, ki tēnā o koutou. Me te tuku I te rākau kōrero, ki tētai o koutou. Tēnā tātou I te whānau.
A tuatahi. Nā mihi kia koutou kua tai mai ki te tautoko o kaupapa. The kaupapa o te mana mo te hake. First of all, I want to tell you any tears that we shed today aren't for this place. They're actually for you and our humility that you can take time out to be here to manaki. To manaki the kaupapa and to manaki us. And I know what it takes for all of you. Toi Tu whānau. I know the sacrifices those of us are representing us legally. And I know that what we're dealing with here is a web that is so paru. They were wrong. I did not say sit down. I said you are kino. And this finger here, it came from many aunties that have said the same. I don't need to look like a gun. I don't need to sit there and pretend to pinch and pull some pistol. Ake Ake. That is this place deflecting its voice and its whakaaro of violence to us. This system is so paru. So when you come here, all we see from out the window is like sun rays of hope. Sun rays reminding us why we take what we're taking just at the moment. We were born of civil disobedience. And I don't know how many from here are from the Rokura, but in Taranaki, we take pride in our civil disobedience. I want to also make sure that we hear what is coming out of this place. They didn't want to suspend us. They were actually looking at how to imprison us. How freaky are your voices? How intimidating are your voices? How intimidating are your actions? And we know if that is how the government perceives us, imagine the power of our unity in taking out the Regulatory Standards Bill and taking out and dismantling this government, because that is what you have the power to do. You know why they did what they did today? You know why they locked upstairs? Because they are intimidated, not by me. They're intimidated by what we represent, by what we stand for, what we have our nannies and our kuros and our hokopuna raised to be. So I take this moment to reset. I hope that you're all experts on Regulatory Standards Bill. I'm going to say it 6 times, Regulatory Standards Bill, because we've had a warm-up. We've had a dress rehearsal. There is nothing that they're throwing at us that we can't dismantle, and I promise to you, when you get us in and we take them out, the first things we will do is repeal every paru kino thing they've put. We promise you. We won't sit on the fence and talk like you're mainstream. We are the only unapologetic Indigenous kaupapa-driven tikanga-led party in Aotearoa. Until you all catch what I'm saying. Only you have the power to take us out, and only you have the power to put us in. Only we have the ability to take this paru out. So I'm going to leave it there and pass it on, but I want to thank you. We never knew what games they were going to play, but you know you're a threat when they start playing like super chess. And we're okay. We're not tired from this. We're emotional for you. We're emotional because, as Naomi said, they don't love us. But we will love them, mokopuna. We will bring their mokopuna into Aotearoa home. We will make sure they're warm. We will make sure they're fed. I'm completely pinching Ngāwiri's lines. But we will never ever treat theirs like they treat ours, eh? Kia ora whanau, I love you all.
Ko te iwi Māori e nguru nei. Ko Aotearoa e nguru nei. Kia ora tata. There is a mix of emotions here today. This is a psychological war we're in at the moment. They're here just dangling us and waiting for us to get tired. They are afraid that the fear in every single one of us that they have for so long put into us is gone. What we saw today makes me feel like I'm on remand. Many of us know somebody who's on remand, waiting for sentencing. And they make you believe that they've done this to ensure that we had a voice in the budget. We always had a voice in the budget. Just because 3 of us were gone, there were still 3 that were still here. We don't need their sympathy. And we don't need them to prolong the psychological warfare that they are prepared for us to endure. Because we've been in this psychological warfare for over 180 years. And we will be here for another 180 years in this psychological warfare. So I want to be to you all. Do not let this dampen who we are and what we stand for. This should just fire the belly. And there's one thing, I talk about fire and my fingers up in the air, I'm more scared of in regards to a gun is an auntie's finger on the marae. And the sentiments that can be shared, e kira, that you continuously determine that we're violent, that we're disruptive, that we're radical,
that we're separatists. We are the only party that is committed to leaving no one behind. Our tupuna already left that footprint for us, that blueprint. Te Tiriti o Waitangi was ensuring nobody got left behind. And to our tangata treaty out there, the treaty was also a promise to you. And you do not stand behind us when we're talking about treaty rights, is that you stand beside us and ensure the mana o Te Tiriti o Waitangi protects us all. There is a war on Māori. There is a war on Te Tiriti. There is a war on women. There is a war on our rainbow communities. There is a war on our climate. And there is a war on all of us that are awake. Because the government is asleep. This is a psychological war we're in. We must all stand together. And I want to meet to all the flags here. I see all the unions represented. Flag, let me see. But here's the problem. Other parties in here, they want your vote, but they don't want your voice. Support the people who are not afraid to be your voice. Authentic. We will not be muzzled by their rules. Because we stand for what is right. It's starting to close the gaps between those who have and those who have not. And many of us are struggling to put bloody kai on the table. Yes, we've been voted into this place. We come from kumara growing, tie head propping, diving in your undies community. And when we're finished in here, we go back to those communities. We're not here for the money. We're not here for the accolades. We're here to be a voice for you. So stand with us. What is the call to action? We turn punishment into power. Enroll. Vote. Submit. Submissions. Don't bloody submit. We know how to do submissions now. Put those submissions in. The Regulatory Standards Bill is the most dangerous bill you will ever see come through this House. The mundane language they use in it. It is about the Treaty Principles Bill, was about changing the principles of the Te Tiriti o Waitangi and those articles. The Regulatory Standards Bill is about eliminating it altogether. Remember, Te Tiriti o Waitangi protects everyone here in Aotearoa from international and corporate exploitation. The privatisation of our country. You've worked hard for that. They're ready to sell it all over. The Regulatory Standard Bill removes you, it removes me, it removes Te Tiriti o Waitangi from all of that. So let this day be our preparation for that particular war. Who's with us? I love you all. I love you all. We will continue to fight. Suspensions are coming. Don't worry. They've just suspended the suspension. They can suspend our bodies, but they can never suspend our movement. Kaha whai tonu matou! Ake ake ake! Kaha whai tonu matou! Ake ake ake! Kaha tonu tātou! Ake ake ake! Kaha tonu tātou! Ake ake ake!
And again, Kaha tonu matou!
Ake ake ake!
Kaha tonu tātou!
Ake ake ake!
Tēnā rā tātou. Wāre ki tō mātou whēnei.
Louder!
I'm actually a really quiet person by nature, even though the perception's not out there in the world. Tuatahi. These are my grandparents. Too awful. I'm just one of the messenger sticks in the house for us. That's all we are. We are just the messenger sticks of the 100,000 people who marched, the 300,000 signatures, the 90% submission, opposition in the submission process. I'm just the kaikarere of them. And I am so humbled, and I katua hua hau kia koutou katoa. Matou katoa Te Pati Maori, kia koutou katoa. It was unruly, it was dishonourable, and it was disorderly to bring in a bill like the Treaty Principles Bill. The problem is not our response to the problem. Let's not gaslight the actual problem here. It's not our wiri or te reo Māori go signs. It's the actual problem that Parliament has. It's not a left or right, a red or blue. It's actually the foundations of this house. It's the system itself. Well, I did a little something today. I did a little something today. Well, this house wanted to be wannabe matatini judges. We decided to create a bill. It is called Members of Parliament's Duty to Uphold Te Tiriti o Waitangi legislation bill. Te pire o te here ki te tiriti o Waitangi. The problem here is that there is no obligation and no responsibility for MPs in the House to uphold Te Tiriti o Waitangi. That is the problem. It is not our haka, it's not our wiri, it's not our kākahu, it's not the shoes we wear. That is the clear institutional problem here. And this is how we will address it. So that we don't have to do thousands of submissions and have to do the Regulatory Standards Bill, the Treaty Principles Bill, the 28 laws that are removed from Te Tiriti responsibilities. That is the ongoing effect. This is not a country problem. This is an in-house problem. We do not see this represented across the country. This is just for the people in there to clean up their... This is an in-house problem. Tēnei pire, ko te here ki te tiriti o Waitangi. How is it that this house was built off Te Tiriti o Waitangi, yet it's left outside the doors of the debating chamber? That is the problem here. That is why we are always systemically pushed back after pushback after pushback. Just like today. The fear is that we are too loud. We are too loud, that we are literally rattling the foundations of this house. We've been kicked out of the gallery. We've been kicked out of Parliament. We've been kicked out. There's no more left. There's no more places to kick us out from. We're literally that loud, and it's echoed across every single nation in the world. That is the power of your voice, not my voice, your voice here today. So this is what we did. And this is where we need to move forward as a country. This is how we need to move forward as a country. It's not left or right. This is the foundations of us moving together so that another generation doesn't have to be locked outside of these doors. So that another generation doesn't have to be silenced. So that we can focus on bigger issues like equal pay for women, like the fact that butter's gone up to $10.48, banning seabed mining, GST off Kai. These are all the members bills that we have created in our party. There's only 6 of us. But hey, we are making sure that this is not just for Māori, this is for everyone. This is for everyone. And we're having to be the opposers and the proposers at the same time. So thank you for showing up for us, because there's only going to be 6 of us. Engari, ki te rōpū toitu, kia koutou katoa te mana whenua, ngā kai ripoata, e hopu nei i tēnei karere, ngā reanga katoa, Pākea mai, tangata tiriti mai, tangata moana mai, tēnei te mihi kia koutou katoa. Ka ora tonu mātou,
Ake ake ake.
ka ora tonu mātou,
Ake ake ake.
and hopefully there's a bill that you can actually support in the very coming year.
Tēnā rā koutou I te rangati nei te hira o ngā kōrero. And the changing of the hearing to enact these suspensions has been shifted, if you didn't already know, but it's all part of the strategy of what I call makarona. That's a ngāpuri word, you might be able to figure out what that means. But he rautaki makarona tēnei. And he rautaki makarona I te mea e wehi ana rātou. They are mucking us around because they are scared of our power, and they are scared of our capability, and they are scared of our mana. And e aku rangatira, even though the cold wars of this whare are suppressing and holding down the mana of the Haka, there is nothing that can hold down the mana of the people of the movement Ke Wahine. The only thing that can hold us down is rangi nui e tū nei, papatu anuku e takoto nei. O reira ka mihi rā ki tō tātou mana, I te hirangaranga, I te wehi, te tapu, te ihi, au ngā mātua tupuna nei, te oho nei, anei te piritia nei, I waingai tēnei minenga tēnā rā koutou katoa. Me te tono, hoki a te ngākau kia koutou e aku rangatira. Once this muck around phase is over, I must say, it feels like it's been a lifetime since the last election, and it feels like there's a lifetime to go to the next election. And they know, those fellas in there know, that you all the Ngākau Māori MPs are our only hope. Are our only hope in there to at least slow down the relentless attacks. I'm exhausted. We're exhausted. And I know you are too. I wouldn't wish this mahi upon my worst enemy. We see how hard it is. We see how difficult it is. E rangi ko te tono tēnei. Don't worry about us. We got it out here. Once those suspensions are over, you go in there and you give it to them. You give it to them. You hold the line. You hold the line and you give us hope. And you go in there and you do what we can't do. E rangi, e mahi ana I ngā mahi pakeke hei oranga mo te iwi Māori. Ko ia tēnei, he mahi tahi tonu, he mahi waho, he mahi roto ka puta rā tātou ki te whai ao ki te ao marama. Our only hope, piritia, kia au, kia mau. Ai te iwi e hui nei. Repeat after me, Toi Tu Te Tiriti.
Toi Tu Te Tiriti.
Toi Tu Te Haka.
Toi Tu Te Haka.
Toi Tu ngā mama.
Toi Tu ngā mama.
Toi Tu ngā kaiako.
Toi Tu ngā kaiako.
Toi Tu Te Tika.
Toi Tu Te Tika.
Toi Tu Te Pono.
Toi Tu Te Pono.
Toi Tu Te Whenua.
Toi Tu Te Whenua.
Toi Tu Te Rangi.
Toi Tu Te Rangi.
Toi Tu Te Iwi Māori.
Toi Tu Te Iwi Māori.
Toi Tu Aotearoa.
Toi Tu Aotearoa.
Ka haka tonu tātou.
Ake ake ake.
Ka tū tonu tātou.
Ake ake ake.
Ka ora tonu tātou.
Ake ake ake.
Mai ara rā ki te rangi e tū nei, mai ara rā ki te whenua e takoto nei. Mai ara rā ngā hinga wehi ngā tapua te pōkia tau ki runga ki tēnei minenga, anei e tū nei. Kia u kia mau ko te kaha o ngā mātua tūpuna, ka puta ki te whai ao, ka puta ki te ao marama. Hiki nā ko te tapua wēnei kōrero, hiki nā ko te tapua wēnei wānanga. Ka paina ki runga ki te tāhu nui o rangi nui atu nei. Kia wātea kia mahea o te huinga tau i rei runga i apapatua nuku e takoto nei. Ka puta ki tuaka, puta ki waho. Ka puta ki te taha tika. Ka puta ki te taha pono. Ka puta ki te taha nui te ao marama. Ka uka mai ki te tūranga matua ki te tūranga ora. Ki te tūranga o tapu tapu Aotea. Whānau, whānau hara mai te tāki haumi e hui e!
O te kōrero ngāti tōki a koutou ngā minita o tira ki a tātau ahu mai tōku tūpuna mara ngai pāroa. Ne, me pēnei te kōrero. Me whakapap, me whakamumuri ki te pakanga. Kamate, kamate, kōreko! Kamate, kamate, kōreko! Tēnei te tangata! Uru kāna i tiki, mai whakapiti tērā! Upane, koipane, iti tērā! Kamate, kamate, kōreko! Kamate, kamate, kōreko! Tēnei te tangata! Uru kāna i tiki, mai whakapiti tērā! Upane, koipane, iti tērā! Kapai. We are. Kapai, no he, kapai whānau.
Kari se pīreo, no hi, e rā tātou.
Tuturu o whiti whakamaua kia taina! Haumi e hui e!